One person has the habits of smoking cigarettes. The whole world says it is bad. Another person habits of reading a Gita or reading a Bible or reading a Quran daily or chanting the rosar. The whole world says it is good. He is a God man. The one who smoking a cigarette, if he does not smoke, he feels it to be a problem. And the one who chants the rosar, if he not allowed it to do so, not allowed it to read a Bible or Quran morning, he feels it is to be a problem. Both are selves. One want a cigarette as soon as he wake up, and the others want a rosary as soon as he wake up. If the one who chants the rosary does not get a rosary, he starts a craving for it. If the one who chants the rosar does not get a cigarette, he starts craving for it. There is not much difference in such a foundation. Cigarette is also a kind of chanting the rosar. They took a smoke insides, they took it outsides. They took its inside, they took its outsides. There are routing the beds outside. Inside it is a grand a smoke. It is a little subtle. Someone is routing their pebbles and stones. It is a little gross. The real question is to be free from habits. I am not saying that don't chant the rosaries. I am not saying that smoke cigarettes. I am saying that you should remain the master. No habit should become such that it becomes the master's. No habits. The habits of going to the temple should also not become the masters. The habits of meditating should also not become the master. You should remain the masters. To save the ownership and use the habits is sadhana. If you lose the ownership and get addicted to the habits, then you become a mechanical. Then your life is unconscious. There are people who comes to me and say that if they do not worship daily, they feel restless. They think that a very religious event has happened in their life. I ask them, do you get any joy by worshipping or praying? They says, I do. I don't get any joy. But if I don't do it, I feel restless. This is what a cigarette smoker says. He says, ask him, do you get any joy? He says, joy. What is there in it? I don't get any pleasure. Something I don't get. You don't get any happiness. But if you don't drink, you feel restless. Think about it little. This is what I call become a machine. That is what I call becoming a machine. That you feel restless even if you do not do something from which you don't get anything. Nothing is available. There is nothing to be gained. But there is a problem in leaving it, because now the habits has catched hold. Habits can do only this much. If you do not eat, you get nothing. If you don't do it, you feel that you lose something. Now this is a very interesting thing. If you don't get anything by doing something, how can you lose by it not doing it? Nothing is lost, only old habits. Not following the old path seems to be a hindrance. Before some days back, I read a story. A very big lawyer, he had habits that whenever he stood in a court pleading, he was a big lawyer, international lawyer. He had offices in London, US and India. He had habits to turning the button of his coat when he got stuck. Everybody has habits. Someone starts scratching their heads or hand, someone starting doing something else. That habits has the same use as pressing a button. So whenever his thoughts got confused or he could not think of an answer, he would starting turning the button of his coat. It is not known for sure whether he got anything by turning it, because what would one get by turning the coat button? And if someone whose mind is confused and is not able to understand, will he understand anything by turning the coat button? But his opponents could see that whenever he gets confused, he turns the button. There was a big case. It was a case of the big states in the pre-council. It was a matter of lakhs. So the opposing lawyer bided his driver and gave him some money and told him to do just this: break the top button of his coat. So when he came to the court with his coat in his hand, that button was missing. So at that time he did not even look at it. He put on the coat when he started pleadings, and the time came, his hand went to the button of the coat and everything went wrong. It was as if his brain had left him. He could not understand anything. He felt dizzy. He sat down. He lost his first case. He wrote in book. He said, I never gained anything from that button, but I lost a lot. It was not that I could understand anything by turning the button, but when I could not find the button, I could not understand what to do now. It was as if a weapon had slipped from my hands. I was sitting with trust, and at that right time, the one I trusted betrayed me. Those which you call habits, whether they are good or bad, it make no difference. All habits are bad if you becomes the master. If you are the masters, no habits is bad. A salary is bad, ownership is God. This is my definition. Reeds are being formed every moment. Habits are being created. You just stand a little away. Do not lose your ownership.